Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Imperfect Show. I'm Alexander Avalos, your host and your friend and your emotional delayed processor. Today, we're talking about the strongest people I know. The ones who show up, the ones who respond, the ones who smile, and the ones who are quietly not okay. Yes, I said quietly not okay. And I really want to talk about volunteers today, yes. Why am I thinking about talking about volunteers? Well, glad you brought it up. I was just thinking about how we all, as firefighters, EMS, we kind of just volunteer when we don't get the help we need. But here we are, going to be talking about it. Deep down and dirty. Just sighing. Because at the end of the day, we just carry the trauma. They carry it for free. Yes, I said it, for free. All right, let's talk numbers. And they're not cute either. All right, statistics. I promise I'll make them interesting. According to the National Volunteer Fire Council, nearly 1 in 5 volunteer firefighters report symptoms consistent with PTSD. Many report moderate to severe anxiety and depression symptoms. Suicide rates among firefighters, career and volunteer combined, have revealed or exceeded line of duty deaths in recent years. Let that sit in for a minute. We lose as many or more to mental health as we do to fire. Now zoom out. According to the National Fire Protection Association, roughly 65% firefighters in the United States are volunteers. Yes, 65%. Isn't that crazy? That means the majority of the fire service is volunteer. You think about that for a minute. I want you to let that sink in. Is your town a volunteer town or is it a paid staff town? I want to hear about it. Tell me. And many of them have full-time jobs, have families, get woken up at 2 a.m., see something traumatic, then go back to work at 8 a.m. like nothing ever happened. I can relate to that so well. So here we go. EMS volunteers, the forgotten middle child. And EMS volunteers, you're not off the hook. No way, Jose. Research referred by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration shows EMS professionals experience significantly higher rates of PTSD, depression, and burnout, and substance misuse. Go figure. Some studies estimate PTSD symptoms in EMS personnel range anywhere from 15% to over 30%. That's a big gap there, guys. Now combine that with volunteer status, meaning no structured decompression, limited peer support systems, minimal mental health funding, and often no benefits. Let that soak in. Just a pager, a jump bag, and a thank you at the pancake breakfast feed. Or the banquet, depending on what your department does. But for real, your neighbor next door could be a volunteer. They could have saw something traumatic and had to go to work next day. And they're expected to not remember and kind of just push it off like nothing ever happened. The double life nobody talks about. Volunteers live in two worlds. 1 minute CPR in someone's living room. Next minute, you're at your kid's school playing pretend you didn't just pronounce someone, you know. And nobody in that auditorium knows because you're smiling, you're clapping, you're normal, but inside your nervous system is still fight or flight. That's not weakness, that's biology. Here we go. I got a personal story for you. It's going to hit hard, maybe. Maybe some may just say it's normal. But I've been in the fire service for 9 years, guys. And I was taught to deal with it in a way that was not the best way. I turned the exercising for my drug of choice, go figure, exercising. And I didn't know what to do with it. I really hurt a lot of people going through this. and brought people down with me. And at the same time, also had people that were there for me, but I couldn't show it or explain it to someone. It was super hard. And when somebody would try to understand me, I just explode or push them farther away and treat them really terribly. I look back on that now and it wasn't fair. I mean, they didn't know I was going, they kind of knew, but didn't know and didn't know how to handle it. Plus, they already had a life. And adding on to mine just made it all the worse. I am thankful for those who really helped me through this. You don't realize it's a problem till it's too late. And that's where I say it's always good to talk about what you're feeling because the inside of you deserves to be heard. Now we're going to talk about volunteer side of things and why it affects us harder than most others. Here's what makes this complicated. Career departments often have peer support teams, union backing, access to EAP programs, and structured debriefings. And I will say, I was very fortunate that I had somebody help me that was on a paid department and got me through their crisis line. I couldn't have done done it without them, and couldn't have done it without the people around me either. And volunteers, sometimes it's good job, guys. See you next call. And that's so true. Those, after every call, we wonder if we kind of make slight marks on, oh, are we going to have that 2 a.m. call or whatever? It's just because that's who we are. And because they aren't immersed daily in trauma culture, they may not build the same psychological armor over time. And that's so true. 1 minute we're at work, next minute we're getting ready for bed, and boom, here we go. So it just means there's calls that hit us harder than others. And I'm not going to lie, anything 18 and younger, those calls hit me the hardest. I'm sharing that with everybody now. I used to keep that quiet. I used to be shy about talking about what hurts me. But here we are, being honest, crazy. And when they don't know how to process it, they minimize it. I'm fine. You know how many times I said that? I'm fine and I wasn't fine? A lot. It wasn't that bad, or other people have it worse. Sounds. Alrighty, I've heard of this hype. Everyone keeps telling me, you gotta try Let's Go. And listen, I'm a firefighter, triathlete, trash man, always on the move. So if something says it's clean energy with no crash, I'm testing it. This is Let's Go, made by a woman who does all the things. Mom, CEO, athlete, dreamer, so already reliable. Oh wait, hold on. This feels different. It's not that jittery, cracked out energy. It's like clarity, like my brain turned on and my body followed clean, steady energy that actually moves with you. Mom, enthusiasts, people juggling 12 things at once, this is for you. So yeah, I get it now. No excuse, no limits. If you're heading somewhere mentally or physically, Let's Go actually helps you. Get there, try it. You're gonna feel the difference. Familiar? Yeah, like all of us, some of us just carry a huge big smile. And that's what the next segment's gonna be about. A smile is the mask. You know who worries me the most? The reliable, the ones who never miss a call, the ones always joking, the ones who say, I'll take it. Because sometimes that smile is just a good PR for untreated stress. And that hits hard because when things were affecting me, I know I'm talking about myself. I really don't care. So here we are. When things affected me and people asked me if I was okay, I'd always say I was fine, but I'd always smile. Everybody said I was always giddy, always happy, always had that smile. Nobody ever saw me upset, mad, and came to a point that that was a mask. A mask that I didn't realize was going to affect me as bad as it did. I know, I'm tearing up over here, guys. Oh well, it's emotion that we should share. So here's a healthy check moment. Let's stack this up. majority of U.S. firefighters are volunteers. PTSD symptoms in a fire and EMS can be 2 to 5 times higher than the general population. And that I can see. Sleep deprivation alone increases risk of depression and anxiety. Like, yeah, there was nights where I'd be up for 48 hours and have to go do my job and not be able to like shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off. Anyway, sorry. Taylor Swift, a little bit of Taylor Swift doesn't hurt. Volunteers juggle full time civilian careers on top of traumatic exposure. And that hits hard. And yet we expect them to just manage. Like, come on. I can remember working all night or doing what a call and then having to be at work in an hour. And the more I look at that, the more I see that I didn't take time to reflect or take care of the problem. So here I am telling you that you need to listen to your insight because you're your own person. And that person inside of you has feelings. If you don't let those feelings out, all they do is build. And that's what we're trying not to do. And redefining strength to volunteer edition. If you're a volunteer firefighter EMT listening right now, you don't get paid, but your nervous system doesn't know that. Your brain doesn't say, this trauma was unpaid. We won't store it. Yeah, it sounds all of it counts. Every single call counts. It doesn't care if you get paid or if you don't. Strength is not pretending you're unaffected. You should never hide it. Strength is texting another responder and saying, that one stuck with me. And there's no shame in sharing that. I can't stress that enough. Strength is asking your department about peer support. Strength is admitting that the smile might not match the weight you're carrying. And that smile again gets you every time. I know it fooled a lot of people when I had it. I want you to think about this. What's a call you've never told anyone about? What's the one that randomly pops into your head when it's quiet? Yeah, that one. Now ask yourself, who have you talked to about it? If the answer is no one, maybe that's the problem. To every volunteer out there, you are the backbone of emergency services in the country. But you are also human. And humans were not designed to carry trauma slightly forever. You can love this job, you can serve your community, and you can still need help. The smile is powerful, but healing is stronger. This is the Imperfect Show. Stay imperfect, stay honest, and check on your volunteers. See how they're feeling. So, a lot of y'all know that I'm doing EMT training as a student and working on getting my EMT license. I'm so used to being the person to check on people. I'm so used to helping, and had somebody call me and ask me, how are you? That was a hard one. I personally didn't know what to say. I personally was struggling on that answer because how was I? How did I feel about the last sign off? I don't know. I'm not used to someone telling me or asking me. And that's super hard. I love talking on the phone. I love asking people how they're doing. And if I can ask people how they're doing, they're allowed to ask me how I'm doing. I'm not used to being asked how I'm doing. Nah. And it hit in a weird way, not in a bad way. Of a holy mackerel. Somebody actually cares about how I'm doing. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that care. But how many people actually reach out? And to me, that means the world. It hits home and it hits a lot of emotions that are hard to talk about. Sadness, happiness. Holy mackerel, somebody cares. And you're just like, whoa, I am blowing. Anyways, that's what I'm going to end on. Thank you for listening to the Imperfect Show because we all know we ain't perfect.